Hello, welcome to Mystical Adventures. My name is Vivian. Thank you so much for joining me. Happy New Year, happy 2022. Let's get this show on the road, shall we? I'm excited it's a new year. Today's show is all about January and the fresh new energy in this new year. I'm going to give a collective January energy report. I'll pull some cards and talk about just the general energy here on Earth for the upcoming month. I have a channeled message from a planetary entity for January that has to do with January's beautiful Capricorn goal setting, let's get down to business and discipline and making things happen energy, but in a light and fun way. And then we'll do a little exercise at the very end. Does that sound good? Are you with me? Are you ready to rock and roll? Okay. I was actually trying to review my business goals from last year, and I couldn't find them in my business journal. I keep a business journal, and realized I'd spent so long last year reviewing the previous year's goals and trying to assess everything that I forgot to actually write business goals for 2022. You can't make this stuff up, folks. I got so distracted by the reflection that I forgot to actually apply that moving forward. And I thought that I did, but apparently I did not. So I have no actual goals written down to look back on for the previous year. I usually do that around this time of year. I may have written them down and then lost them. But at this point, my friend, I don't think I've written down the goals that I usually write down. And it has to do with focus and it has to do with presence. And so it's a learning experience, right? I'm learning to tweak my goal review process to put a little bit more energy towards focusing on the new year and maybe it's slightly less on reflecting on the previous year. But we're going to be talking about goal setting today. I'm hopefully going to have a show that is inspiring to you for your New Year's visions, dreams, goals. And I know it's heavy for a lot of folks and they hate resolutions and it's so lame and don't even bring it up. But some people, hey, Anne, I'm inspired. It's January. It's a fresh year. Let's talk about it. And I just want to say, whatever camp you fall into, this one, that one, or anything in between, use what rhythm and practice for manifestation and goal accomplishment works for you. If setting actual goals is not your cup of tea and you'd rather be spontaneous and have a more letting things unfold approach to life, then that is totally legit, totally legitimate. If you are into goal setting and find it's helpful, but it's just too on the nose and too cliche to do it in January, I support you. You do you, and find the right rhythm and time for doing it that's right for you. And if you were inspired to do it in January, who knows? Maybe by the end of the show, you'll feel like, well, actually, I could do something. I could maybe think about it. Then let's get these visions and goals clarified together. I personally find January a great collective energy for goal setting because there's so many people who are focused on self-improvement and what they want to change and create in the new year. And I kind of ride that wave in January. So I love January for goal setting. So I tuned in collectively to the energy for January 2022. And, I'm feeling a lot of people are sowing seeds in the collective. I'm feeling many people are also feeling stuck and frustrated with what's happening with the new waves of infection, feeling like frustrated they can't move ahead. It's that deja vu, right? Can't do what I want to do. Wondering about the future and how to proceed with the ups and downs of this pandemic. I feel like a lot of people are focused on ways to cope, ways to move forward and strategize, regardless of what's happening in the world and the challenges, including COVID. People are trying to find new ways to engage in the world and not just video, Zoom connections, but other ways of just engaging in the world, regardless of these obstacles. I'm feeling that collectively. I'm feeling like there are going to be perhaps some travel issues and blocks. I believe Mercury goes retrograde, the planet of communication and travel and technology, who we may or may not hear from later in the show. and also something about airports this month. So I feel like Mercury retrograde energy, when Mercury does go retrograde in a week or two, will be part of the collective experience. And I'm going to pull some tarot cards for the month ahead and pull an angel card and an ancestors and oracle card. Those are the cards I'm into lately. You probably noticed if you've been tuning into my show. So here's some cards for January. Wow, okay. We've got some big challenges, big miracles and blessings. Interesting. Metatron came out. So I'm looking at these cards for January. I feel like there's a big emphasis on relationships, actually, especially perhaps in the beginning of January. People are wanting to get together and connect despite all the challenges and despite perhaps the weather or technology challenges. I feel like that Venus energy, and Venus is still in retrograde. I feel like there's a lot of people just wanting to find a way to connect. And as we're moving through this world collective trauma and finding new ways of getting peace, of garnering, mobilizing hope, regardless of all of the challenges, I feel like this is an opportunity for us collectively. The sun came out. This is the brightest card in the deck, folks. The sun, I feel like, is guiding us to remember to incorporate into our schedule what brings us hope, what brings us inspiration. You can take an active role in committing to creating that sunshine in your schedule. Here in the Northeast, a lot of us are missing the sunshine. We have high levels of seasonal affective disorder up here because it's a really dark, cold winter. Take time to incorporate some of that sunshine into your life, wherever you live, metaphorically or literally, and put the light on. What small things in your day could bring you hope and joy and inspiration? Maybe it's a little bit of music. Maybe it's a little bit of, a funny podcast or just a walk with a friend. And I feel like we've got the King of Pentacles. The energy this month is favoring taking the lead, being the manager, being the organizing, grounded principle, taking grounded action, and honoring the intuitions that you are receiving, honoring the divine guidance you're receiving, and incorporating that into your plans and actions. For angel cards, we have hope. Metatron came out, thought, gratitude. We're going to be exploring. It's funny, this angel Metatron came out today. We're going to be hearing from another expanded entity about thought and about how we can use our thoughts in a really powerful way right now and always. But I feel like Metatron is wanting to add to the message here. He's wanting to add to our awareness that our thoughts really are incredibly powerful, and our thoughts have a huge impact on our emotions, our mental health. Here comes Water Guardian, connect with your emotions. They have a huge impact on our reality. So let's pay attention to, what are my thoughts, my thought patterns, the actual momentum of my thoughts. And is that what I want to create? And, every now and then, everybody has thoughts of fear or jealousy or anger or shame. We all have those thoughts. And don't freak out, my friend, if you have a thought that is less than vibrating on the highest level of, divine compassion and creativity. You're not going to manifest that thought immediately. Pay attention, though, to patterns. Don't worry about it if you have a bad day here and there, but pay attention to patterns. What are you thinking on a consistent basis? If you notice that you are thinking about what's wrong more than what's right, you have an opportunity here to improve your emotional state, improve your ability to create in your life what you want to create by looking at those thoughts and thought patterns. And this might be a great time to make a change, my friend, to make a change here in January, right here, this day, to change the momentum of your thoughts towards acknowledging what needs to be changed, acknowledging the inner critic and what our inner critic has to offer, but also mostly focusing on what you want to create, what you being in the present moment and the dreams and visions and goals that you want to create. So be present to your inner critic, but also be present to your inner imagination and your inner child and your inner visionary, and try and allow that sunshine to shine through your thoughts on a daily level. And you can cultivate this by taking time to check in with yourself every day. What are my thoughts? What are my thought patterns today? What's the direction of my thoughts? Journaling is a great way. A journaling practice is a great way to check in with yourself on a daily or every few days or weekly basis to check in. What's the momentum here that I'm feeding? And we're humans. We're not perfect, and we're meant to have lessons and challenges. So don't spin out into I'm a failure, I can't do this. If you have some darkness or lessons or challenges or shadows that come up, use your powerful mind and the power of your intention to channel most of your psychic and mind energy into the present moment and into what you can appreciate, the meaning in the present moment, what you can look forward to, and the hope for the future, the gratitude. These are all really powerful manifestation techniques, focusing on the present moment, focusing on gratitude, focusing on what you are looking forward to, what inspires you. And as we do this more in a non-perfectionist way, in a balanced way, keeping in mind the criticisms and our insight about what we want to change and normalizing, we all go through periods of decrease and darkness, then you begin to really utilize that power that spirit is bestowing upon you to move mountains, to create miracles. And you can do it this month, my friend. I mean, come on, we pulled the sun card, we pulled gratitude. We're going to have things to feel grateful for. And I think a lot of us can create miracles this month with the power of our mind, with the power of prayer and divine spirit co-creating and guiding us, co-creating with us. The entity I'm referring to that is related to Metatron, that is related to the mind, is the spirit helper of the month. Usually for the month, I'll tune into a spirit helper for the whole month ahead. And this month, who should come to me but Mercury, the planetary / ascended master consciousness. I like to think of Mercury as both an ascended master and the energy behind the planetary, the energy behind the planet, the planetary consciousness, of Mercury. Mercury, also known in Greek as Hermes, is associated with communication, learning, education, especially lower education. Jupiter is associated with higher education, I believe. Mercury is associated with education, travel, music, thinking, the mind, thoughts. And Mercury has a thing or two to teach us about using the mind and these areas. So here is the message for the month ahead, the month of January 2022, from Mercury. Abandoned, preconceived notions. Use your mind to allow ideas to flow through you freely and fearlessly. I am the heart of the mind, and I am able to help you understand how to use the mind. Look within yourself, and you will find you are meant to use your mind for higher things. Now is the time to understand not only learning, but how you can apply this learning to your life. Now is the time to understand the past lessons you have learned and integrate them with the new visions you intend to co-create into reality this year. Swirling around in your mind are many visions and dreams, ideas and plans, and memories you've experienced from the past. You can utilize the heart of the mind at this time by using together all three of these components: the dreams and visions, plans for the future, and understanding the wisdom from the past. Use these three components to allow a balance of the here and now, the past, and the future ahead of you. You can use these components to balance various forces in your mind that are vying for your attention. Pay attention not only to your dreams and visions for the future, but also the necessary plans to enact them, and use your intuitive understanding from experiences from the past to guide you in how you might create plans that reflect the true wisdom inherent within you. Writing down your goals, will help your stream of consciousness focus in powerful ways and create more of the idea of consciousness in a grounded way. Use your book or journal to write down your goals for the new year, but do so in a way that reflects the grounded consciousness of the past, the present, and the future. You may do this by including in your entry what you have learned from the past and how you will apply it to the new year. Ideas for how you can improve goal setting and accomplishment, as well as the actual plans, and your dreams and visions in an imaginative and free way. You have the ability to combine these forces in a powerful way to help the energy move through your consciousness and mind into the earth plane. The key is to be light and free about it. Allow your mind to explore various avenues and possibilities as you brainstorm and play around with what you are planning for the new year. Do not put too much focus on getting it right or solving problems in the beginning. As you begin to formulate your goals and focus for this next chapter, simply allow what occurs to you as you set your intention to combine these components. It can be helpful to write down specific goals after that. You are a powerful creator. There are many in this universe who would like to help you learn and grow, to stimulate and fulfill your curiosity. Use this time of year to invoke your curious mind and passion for learning. Allow the stars to guide you as you focus on what you want to learn and how you want to grow. Understand that everybody learns differently. It may be helpful to incorporate your unique learning pattern and style, which may require you to explore your learning style as you decide what you would like to focus on. The goals you create are tools to help you grow in your eternal unfolding of growth and learning. That was a message from Mercury Planetary Consciousness Ascended Master for January 2022. Thank you so much, Mercury, for bestowing that wisdom on us. And I'm curious, how are you feeling about your goals? How are you feeling about your 2022, my friend? How are you feeling about this next chapter? Have you checked in with yourself about your goals, dreams, and visions for this new year? Have you checked in with yourself about what changes you're wanting to make? I know in the last couple of shows we've explored a bit, wrapping up the old year, what lessons you want to take with you, looking forward to the new year. I'd like to guide you now in a little exercise if you will go on this mystical adventure with me today. looking at, oops, my earpiece is about to fall out. Let me fix that. Technical difficulties. Mercury retrograde is starting already. No, I fixed it. Okay, so let's go on a little journey. Let's do a little exercise together. If you're game, my friend, for kind of taking the wisdom that's I channeled from Mercury and this planetary consciousness and applying it to some goal setting right now. I want you to take a deep breath for me. Ground yourself, center yourself, check in with yourself. Ask yourself, what have I learned from this past year? Or just what have I been learning? What lessons am I learning now? Notice what comes to you. It could be a big lesson, it could be a small lesson, it could be several things that you've been learning. We often have ongoing life lessons we're learning long term and more short term lessons as well. You might even take, if you participated in my last show's guided meditation, you might even take what reflections you had from that meditation and apply it right now. Let's talk about, so holding on to that grain of truth, that those grains of wisdom about what your lessons you're learning. I want you to think about your goal setting in the past. What has worked for you in the past for goal setting, goal accomplishment? Has it worked for you to write down your goals? Has it worked for you to have a schedule of relaxation time and work time? Has it helped you to have a routine? Have you used a visualization practice or done any work in a mastermind group or coaching group? Have you worked with a coach or spiritual counselor or a therapist to help you with goal setting? Think now about what has helped you in the past, and even, think in your heart space too. You can even put a hand on your heart and ask your heart, what's worked for me in the past? You're tuning into your intuition as you do that. I know for myself, writing down my goals and connecting with a mastermind group has been incredibly helpful to my goal setting, goal accomplishment, manifestation practice, as well as some other things. So, and now we're going to tune into our imagination. So we've tuned into the lessons you've learned. We've tuned into maybe some insight about how you can go about structuring your goal accomplishments and your planning. I want you to now tune into your imagination, tune into the space in between your eyes, your third eye chakra. And I want you to ask yourself right now, what is my sacred imagination showing me that I want to create in my life right now? I allow my higher self to show me what I want to create right now through my imagination, and notice what images, words, feelings, knowings, thoughts come to you. What do I want to create right now? And whatever you're getting, my friend, there's no right or wrong answer. Don't put too much focus on getting it right or the perfectionism, like Mercury was guiding us. Simply allow what comes to you in your imagination to be a part of this process. It's called brainstorming. Mercury, Hermes, Metatron, they love brainstorming. They love just allowing our mind to open up and allowing the inspirations to flow through. You don't have to commit to anything at this point. So don't put so much focus in this exercise or as you're setting goals on getting it right or being perfect or solving the problems right away. I want to encourage you to write down whatever you experienced it just now and use this as you compose your intentions for the new year. And it could be your intentions for just this month, even. We're in the new moon phase. The new moon was just a couple days ago. So you can ride that wave of the new moon as well right now, as well as the new year. And think about incorporating the lessons that you have learned, the lessons you are currently learning that you can feel like, wow, I'm really working on, self-esteem, or wow, I'm really working on focus and being able to focus my mind, or I'm working on being more compassionate in my relationships. Whatever you're working on, you have a sense of the lessons you have been learning that you are continuing to learn. Try and incorporate that wisdom with your visions for the future, your wisdom about what you have been learning, maybe anticipating how your visions for the future are incorporating some of that energy. What has helped you to be successful in these various components. And also that imagination piece. What inspiration did I get when I tuned into my imagination? Let me just see if I can let this all sort of roll around together. Let me see if I can allow this to percolate, and what can I concoct with all of these components as I write down my plan for moving forward in the future. And remember, it's a process. Learning and growth are a process. Creativity is a process. Creating and manifesting what we want is a process. So have fun, and remember, keep that attitude of curiosity, as Mercury has encouraged us to. I want to thank you so much for tuning in, my friend. I hope that was helpful. I wish you blessings and success in all of your goals and dreams and visions in the new year. Check out my website if you'd like to stay in touch with me and the groups I have coming up, creativepsychestudio.com. And you can look at my groups and the individual sessions that I offer for more information. Thank you so much for tuning in. Happy New Year, and I look forward to seeing you next show. Take care.